Welcome back to my latest straight pool breakout review. Tim here to break it all down for you. Smash the like and sub to the channel. And today we have a nice little run. Nothing too major. Still haven't broken my ultimate record. Still haven't reached my ultimate goal, but do we ever? You're going to ask yourself that question. Like, is there a finish line to this game? I don't think there is. I mean, it's nice if you win like a world championship or something and get a cool trophy, but then this is a very what have you done for me lately type of sport. And I think a lot of people don't realize that as they're coming up in the game and thinking that, well, if I just get to this point and, win this or get to this level or get this certain Fargo rating, then I'll have respect and I'll have accomplished what I want to accomplish. Well, I've had a lot of good runs over the years where it's like, I was jumping for joy after I turned the video camera off because I don't want to embarrass myself. But yeah, I mean, I think we just got to accept that we got to enjoy the process, enjoy seeing improvement. It's going to be incremental, of course. But when you zoom out and see how much improvement you've made, if you put the work in, and that's the key, you got to put the work in. Here I'm using low left to try to break up the cluster in the middle. And yeah, kind of did. Wanted to go kind of light. Just, I'm still kind of liking my idea that I brought up in the last video, I think, or maybe the one before that. Just like, sounds kind of silly, but just make sure you give yourself a shot on the next ball. And you can't always. Sometimes you got to kind of let the cue ball loose out on its own, but sometimes, especially like tough, longer shots and stuff, you tend to just like slam with all your might because you want to let your stroke out. And sometimes those are the ones where you think about it for a minute, like, just hit it soft. It's not necessarily gonna, you feel like you're shooting on a golf green or something and it's gonna curve or something if you hit it too soft. But no, it'll just use a little touch. This one here, even though I'm kind of going between balls, we have the tendency to think that, there may be balls in the way. I'm going to give it a little extra juice to get through it. It's like, this isn't football. You don't need a running start to get through the defensive line. It's either it's going to hit the balls or it's not, but there's no point in hitting it so hard. I've done that a million times where it goes all the way down table because I think that it's going to go through balls that are going to slow it down or something. But got to think realistically about what's actually going to happen when the balls reverberate off each other. Like this one here, yeah, I didn't really have a great plan with that one. I thought that it would come around and I'd be in the vicinity, like if it wouldn't have hit that, what is that, the 15 well square, I would have probably had a shot on the 2 or the 8 or the 1 or the 5, I would have had all sorts of options. So it wasn't necessarily a bad plan. As it stands, I guess I'm kind of fortunate that I'm straight in. These tough shots where it's long and I'm shooting off the rail, even despite that, if it's straight in, it seems to be somewhat makeable. Now I have a long shot on the 2. I want to just hit it soft and with backspin and kind of hold it right there. As you'll see, this plan doesn't exactly come into fruition either. Although I'm making shots, this is surprising. It's fun when you start making shots. I've said that before. of floated over against the one ball, so I was just like, dang. But another close to straight-in shot here. Long, but maybe doable. Plus the leave is nice. I got my break ball just chilling there. So I gotta try to make this one. But yeah, the thing about like if you feel like you're on fire making shots, you know, one day and maybe the next day you're not, but then you'll find that if you're working at it, you're gonna have more and more days where you're shooting really good and you're like, wow, I actually made that. Wow, that's a brilliant shot. Got the leave. And then eventually you'll be having days where you even level up from that, and then those days will eventually become more common. It's like, and then you'll get mad about shots that you feel like you have been making, whereas before you don't even expect to make them, you know. So here, yeah, just draw it back for the one. This one didn't draw that great, a little bit, but I guess that's fine. If it would have came back a little further, I would have had a nicer angle. So this is it's kind of one of those like advanced shots. You can't really do it any other way other than using English to come around like that. Like I just kind of illustrated. You want to go 2 rails. You want to use the left-hand spin. And on this one, I think I used too much top, and I should have used like a little more left and not as much top spin. And also maybe hit it a little harder. Yeah, see, it didn't come around the way I wanted it to. But yeah, I mean, I have a shot in an angle. Just you want to get it obviously over on the other side of the table, and I didn't do that. I guess I wonder, like, almost like a low left shot on that one, and then hit a little stronger. It didn't underhit those. I mean, that ball traveled a decent distance, but anytime you use low, obviously you got to hit it harder. I mean, I guess it's not obvious, but you know, I've said that before. Like when you use low English, it's going to slow down the ball. It's typically not going to travel as far. So I guess, yeah, that's obviously, I mean, it's nice that I made the shot and, you know, used the English without being scared to miss it. Here I make a nice one and actually broke out the rack. So there we go. Problem solved. I guess that's the finish line we're looking for, right? Even though I'm glued to the stack here, and I don't know if anything's wired in. I don't think it is. Not really. I'm trying to look for something. Like maybe go into the, looking to see if the 8 ball goes into the 2, and no, that's not going to work. So I end up deciding to call the 11 ball here. So I feel that maybe the 4 can like come into it, which it does, and oh, almost made it. That would have been nice. There it is. There it isn't.